Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Thrash Pondo is here, and I'm desperately watching my microphone. It's doing that weird thing. It's supposed to stay blue when I'm recording and get a nice, crisp sound, but it's doing that thing where it flashes blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. So either it's an undercover cop or it's a barroom blitz and we're all supposed to hit the dance floor, or there's a problem with my mic. Either way, I'm going to keep watching it, and hopefully the sound is okay. By the way, Gary Carpenter, thank you so much for your positive feedback. By the way, you said the sound was very, very low on my last post. It sounded like it was in a hole. Apparently, somehow my laptop got reset, and I didn't do this myself, but the volume level was at like 8%. So I did notice that I had to turn it way up in order to hear it. Sadly, you say that even when you did turn it up, you couldn't really hear. Uh, I'll cover the material again over the course of the live chat. But for right now, I'm just waiting for people to show up because I am a wee bit early. And oh, look who's here. Dave is here first. Dave, let me be the first to say happy 25th of 6 to you. You were the first. And Tug is here and said, Thrash on a Tuesday. Of course, we're commemorating 2506 to 4. And more about that later. Of course, all the traditions are being met. I'm wearing something orange. You must wear something orange. And the traditional uh, refreshment is carrot cake. But I didn't get to the store today, so I'm drinking orange soda. What could be more orange than that? But yes, we're doing a little commemorative. Has everyone seen my earlier post today? Hopefully, because that's going to play rather heavily in tonight's little surprise theme chat. And Crush Orange. No, this is a Polar. I don't know how many of you are from the Northeast, but Polar is a local beverage concern, been around forever, and they have some great flavors. They have a golden ginger ale, which is my favorite. But my wife and I both like the orange. For some reason, the diet orange is really, really tasty. So I'm drinking diet orange soda in this case. And let's see who else. Wow, so far it's just the two of you, and neither one of you hit the like button. Come now, people. I can't do everything for you. So let's see. Um, where? I'm watching for that like. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll hit it. I'm sure you'll hit it. And again, I'm still a little early. Like I say, because my laptop reset, I did come on a little early today because I expected more catastrophic system failures. And Tug says I like Diet Sunkissed personally. I don't know if I've tried the Diet Sunkissed. Oh, actually, Tug, you might know. Someone got me this hat. Um, because Obey was from They Live. They got it at Newbury Comics. This is years ago, but somebody told me this has nothing to do. Well, it's only marginally connected to They Live. It's actually a political statement, which is why I avoid wearing the hat. But it's the only orange thing I had to wear besides the lettering on the shirt. Does anybody know what this whole Obey shtick means? I don't want to make some political statement that I don't identify with. That can be downright dangerous. And while I'm on the subject, how is the sound quality? And is there any buffering? The little red flashing seems to be holding off. I'm speaking in a more resonant voice that might be helping, so the poor mic isn't like all over the place trying to pick me up. But anywho, how is the sound and video quality? Tug has hit the like, I swear. Well, yeah, now I got two, and Zublex just showed up, which makes three, but he hasn't hit the like yet. But he says good, so either the sound is good or it's good that he hasn't hit the like yet. And David says, "Squirt, my favorite pop." That's grapefruit flavored, isn't it? I've had it. I know it's very, very citrusy, but I can't quite pin down the flavor. Tug says good sound quality and no buffering. And Tracy's here and she says message retracted. And a message retracted to you as well, by the way. Uh Wow, Zubik says video quality is better than ever. Yeah, like I said, when I when this laptop reset, that may have done some good. It for some reason it set the sound back to next to nothing. Probably because I usually yell into the microphone, so it was trying to save its life there. And a lot of people saying hello to one another. And so far, so good. And oh, Mrs. Thresh came in and gave a splendid gesture of solidarity. Says that we're number one, by the way. Yes, it's an orange hat. It's the 25th of 6. It's 250624. And one must wear orange on 250624. Can you imagine not knowing that, fellas? Love you. I've only explained it to her twice. Ooh, there's that number one again. Love you, ma'am. And let's see, where were we? Where were the we were? Everyone's saying hi to Mrs. Thrash. And Dave says only 6 months until Christmas. The joke when I worked in the mall, this is back when working in malls was like really, really, really big around Christmas time. Like literally November, December is when you made your money. And I used to joke because the day after Christmas was the day you would do probably like $5,000-6,000 in return. You would still end up turning a profit that day because 90% of the people who return stuff would get something else. So it was people say, "Oh, we lose our shirts on the day after Christmas." No, people come into the mall and they buy more stuff. But anyway, I used to joke. I go, "Only 364 more days until Christmas." Uh, and Tracy says, "Only 2 days until my birthday." Ah, yes, the big 2-9, Bubba. And happy birthday prelated for both Zubalix and myself. Happy birthday, Miss. Happy birthday. And let's see what else we get going on here. So far, nothing. And Dave says my birthday is July 11th. Oh, a Yankee Doodle dandy. Born on the 11th of July. And I got to stop singing. I really do. Oh, anyway, while we're waiting for more people to join in, once again, the story of 25 or 64, the very famous Chicago anthem. What happened was Robert Lamb was trying to write a song, and it was very, very, very late at night, and he wasn't getting anywhere, and he was frustrated and overtired. And he looked at the clock, and he was trying to figure out what time it was, and he looked at it, and it was 3:35 ish, but he interpreted it as 25 or 6 to 4, and in some versions he cracked himself up. In some versions of the anecdote, the bandmates were there with him trying to write with him, and there may have been some various chemicals involved, but they were also overtired and punchy that they all broke into hysterics, and he ended up writing the song in one day. And it actually played first in the Whiskey A Go Go in LA. But that's where the term 25 or 6 to 4 comes from. Indy Spout says, "You see this? This is hi-fi, okay? High fidelity. You know what that means? That means that this is highest quality fidelity. Hi-fi. Those are two very important things to have in a stereo system." Why do I feel like I should know that? You're quoting the movie High Fidelity? I haven't seen that movie since I worked in the video store. And that's an. I lost my. Hey, lady. Hey, lady. I lost my headphones in that pontification. But again, I'm sorry, I haven't seen that movie in over 20 years. But either way, great quote, even though I don't know exactly where it's from. Oh, my vlog is here. Says happy birthday, Tracy. Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron is here. Says good evening. I'm early. Yes, you are, but right on time specifically. And Striggs is here and says, "Do you like Chicken Little the movie?" Striggs, I must confess I have not seen Chicken Little the movie, but welcome to our 25064 extravaganza. And hang on, we just jumped. But not too far. Christopher Wilkinson is here. Says, good evening, Bob. Davis just says, actually, I was supposed to be born on the 4th of July. I was days late. Yeah, you were like a week late, bro. I was like 2 or 3 weeks early. Supposedly, according to Mama Thrash, I was supposed to be born like September 1st. But I was a couple weeks early. Well, close enough. Texas, does anybody really know What time is it? Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? And Superplex says, you put too much credence in music, as in Credence Clearwater Revival. No, that ain't me. That ain't me. Looking out my back door. David says 7 Days. Great horror movie. Japanese version preferred. My Fluck is speaking in emojis. Oh, but she's absolutely right, by the way. As a present to me, as a 2506 to 4 present to me, I ask each and every one of you who has seen them, a bunch of you have already watched it and commented on it, and that's great. But I have one more request. Each of you, in turn, go to that video and share it. Share it with somebody. Forward it to something else on social media. Try to get this thing rolling. Pretty please, sugar on top. Jimmy says, "Did you say Zombie a Go Go?" No, Monster a Go Go. I may have said Zombie a Go Go. Monster a Go Go was the name of the club, and if I remember correctly, it had the stage look like a big monster's mouth, and the band would actually sit in the mouth and play. And the first people I ever saw perform in it was one of those old beach movies. It was Eric Burdon and the Animals, and he's saying, "We got to get out of this place." And I'm like, remember as a child laughing because, yes, it's a monster's mouth. You do have to get out of that place. See what I did there? A lot of people saying hi to one another. Tug says, my first movie date with my now wife was High Fidelity. That is an awesome, awesome trivia question. Mine was Interview with a Vampire. Oh, and a little story. Buddy of mine ran the cinema at the time. So I specifically went to this one cinema because you're like, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing, man? This is young lady. Great, guys. Go on in. Have a great time. Hey, thanks, you, bro. You got your back. Yeah, bro. Yeah." And like, oh, wow, he has connections. And she told me later, she was like, "Oh, no wonder took me to a movie. Cheap date." No one appreciates old Bob. Oh, that's another thing. On 2506, you're supposed to thank people who don't get enough recognition. Thank somebody in your life who you don't recognize enough. I thank you all. You people just don't get enough recognition. I want to thank you, particularly my flock, who's now giving us a link. Thank you for the link. Tug says, I'm going to try to make it. Sarah, antibiotics have made me tired and loopy. Well, hang on, Loopy. Loopy, hang on. Stridden says, have you ever seen Shrek? If so, it sounds like he says paint when he is drinking pint. I have seen Shrek. Found it quite amusing. It was actually a huge movie when I was actually working at the video store. I don't recall. I know he gave Shrek a really sick Scottish accent there, but I don't recall him saying paint instead of pint. I'll take your word for it. And Tug says, I'll probably be here for an hour or so, but not much more. We're probably only going to run an hour, by the way, folks. We're just waiting for our guest of honor. Tracy says, LOL, Rob. My Flux says, geek on my channel. No one's going to notice, LOL. You're highly, highly LOL. Jimmy says, I've been watching Me TV Tunes all day. Dude, I thought you said that starts tomorrow. It's been on all day? Oh. Well, misunderstanding on my part. But thank you for the heads up. Sorry if I misinterpreted. And my Flux says, no worries, geek. You are epic as F. LOL. And Tracy also asks Eric how he's doing. And Christopher says, happy birthday to Tracy. David says, it's alive. Alive. And he says, Boogie Nights Thrash for High Fidelity. I always go with, do you even know your daughter? There's no way she likes that song. Oh, yeah, she in a coma. That line I remember. And that explains it because, full disclosure, never seen Boogie Nights, even though I'm a huge Robert Ridgely fan, and that was his last film. I guess full disclosure. First of all, I almost banned somebody. Apologies. Not a huge fan of Marky Mark, even though he's a fellow Bay Stater like me. And it would kill me if he knew I was calling him Marky Mark. And I mean that literally instead of figuratively. He's still paying out on, well, I won't get involved in that. The string says, "You look like Buddy Holly." Ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Um, I hope that doesn't make you marry Tyler Moore, but, but thank you for the observation. He says, "Hi, sweet Ponzo. Hi, sister Sarah." Oh, Tug says, "We appreciate you, Bob. Thank you so much." A lot of people thanking each other. David says, "Victor, Vector, Vector, Victor, Victor, Vector." Underdone. Jim is here. Says, "Greetings, everyone. Jimmy, so good to see you." Um, could we give Jim and anyone, if we haven't already, Tug links, and Sister Sarah, of course, a link to you as well. I'm actually caught up. I was going to kind of skim down here. Jimmy says, "Who is the guest of honor tonight?" The guest of honor is Keith E. And for those of you who've been on his Facebook page, you will understand why this is a huge day for Keith E. But I want to wait for him to arrive before I tell the commemoration. Oh, everybody said hi. Oh, there, Mrs. Thrash. My folks says, "Sharing you out, Pawns." Oh, Sister Sarah, you're amazing. Big Guys 45 is here. He says, "Hi there." Hi there to you too. String says, "Once I was 2 years old and a piece of cheese came off my ceiling and into my mouth. And okay, this is starting to get weird, Stringe." So I don't know. I don't know how much of this is just, let's see what Bob will really read. But I think we're on borrowed time. Playful as it were. And love people saying hello to Big Guys. David says, "Look like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue." Lloyd Bridges Airplane. That whole shtick is one of my favorite. Looking at the wrong day to give up amphetamines. Oh, speaking of which, there's a story about that in my video as well. And Big Guy says, "Just listen to some Smiths and New Order now." Oh, great stuff. And Jimmy says, "Thrash, what's why I put this being Monday?" Oh, I was still in my first cup of coffee, Jimmy. Thanks for the heads up. Sorry I botched. We'll try to watch them tomorrow. Entry says, "We love you, Robert. All the feeling is more than mutual." And Zubik says, "Why the purple glasses?" They're Mrs. Thrash's. And for some reason, they work really, really well on the screen. So I use them. And of course, purple and orange go great together. Tuck says, "Keith is a great dude. He sure is." Melissa Foster's here. Melissa, I'm so glad you could make it. Melissa Foster says, "Hi, Thrash Bondo. And to all, sorry I didn't make it to the last live stream. I was busy with moving my new gas stove with the help of my husband and cleaning up after the setup. Must have made a righteous mess. But I'm glad you made it to this one. So glad to see you." Jim says, "Thank you to me." Trace says, "I need to do more videos." I know, and have a guest. Find someone who would like to be a guest on your show. And Ziblik says, "Keithy and me are the crypt keepers of this live chat." Good evening, kitties. And hello. Oh, and speak of the devil. Oh, but first, Ziblik says, "Hello, Melissa." Keith says, "Oh, I made it. My nephew look me out to dinner." And I'm guessing that's took me out to dinner. And of course, he should have. And here is the story I've been promising you. As I'm sure many of you know, particularly if you were on Keith's page in the last 24 hours or so, our good friend Mr. Keith was in a coma for almost 10 months. And it was kind of touch and go if we'd get him back. And back he is, as you can see, not to give the game away. But the story goes, when the doctors were most concerned, and please forgive me if I miss any details, when the doctors were most concerned, when it really looked like Keith was going to be able to make it back, he had this sort of, in his delusion, in his comatose state, he had a vision sent to him by his brother of a flying carrot entering the room. And somehow this flying carrot was a symbol that he was still in contact with his brother and would come back to the world of the living, which he did. Now, this day is commemorated on the 25th of June. And what better way to commemorate it than a live chat with Old Thresh? And I have to give him full credit for this. Full credit. The idea of doing 250624 on 250624, that was all him. And it's positively brilliant. And I'm so glad he gave it to me in time, because you can imagine my embarrassment if I had thought of this on 2507. I would have had to wait another century before it would become culturally relevant. So, Keith, did I get that at least close to correct? And I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Thank you for the link. Sister Sarah, she says, Z, I will always be about 5 months older for the time being with you. But you'll always be young at heart. Melissa says hi to Superplex and Keith. Sister Sarah's giving us another link. David says, wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. I can't argue with that logic. Oh, and by the way, Keith, as you can see, I'm wearing an orange garment. On the 25th of 6th, you wear an orange garment, and we eat carrot cake, but I wasn't able to get to the store today. So I'm drinking an orange soda. Oh, and before you got here, the most important part of this day. Thank everyone in your life who doesn't get enough thanks and recognition. And I picked all of you. All of you don't get enough recognition from me, or at least I wish I could give you more. But again, Keith, happy 25th of 6th. And I'm skipping down here, and Keith says, hello, everybody. You're going out a number. Oh, you're going out number me, but hello to everyone. Yes, it's really tough to keep up with the hellos when everyone says hello to you. Someone says the life and set ending still beat us, Keith. Yes, Steve does have the edge on all of us, doesn't he? Thank you for the link, Sister Sarah. David says, "Oh shoot, man." And let's just see. I skipped a few, so I'm gonna. Here we go. And another link from Sister Sarah. Sister Sarah, you were the links master. You're a regular golfer tonight. And Zublik says, glad you were with us, Keith. Bravo. String says, what is your favorite Radiohead album? While I listened to Radiohead back in the day, don't have to think I have a favorite album, by the way, but please give us yours. And Jimmy says, Speed Racer is coming on at 1 a.m. It was originally called Go, Go, Go. If I remember correctly, Jimmy, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember correctly, in Japan, go is the number 4. It also means death. So the Japanese love wordplay. So now in Japan, it was the Mark IV, not the Mark V. So when they say go, 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 that meant go for, or Mark IV of death. It was like saying go Mark IV of death. I could do a whole video on that too, by the way. And I'd love to, spoiler it, I'd love to give the game away on Racer X. But that's another live chat. Key says it was 10 days, not 10 months. I'd be dead at 10 months. Well, if you were properly hydrated. I'm sorry, 10 days. I apologize, 10 days. 10 months didn't seem like a long time to me, but who am I to negate your story? But thank you. And hopefully that was the only part of the story I got wrong, because it's a very solid and important story, and I hate it when people mess up details. And Tracy says, love you, Sarah. And Sarah's giving more links. And Tracy says, Keith to the third power. Yay. A Kabbalist. And Zublik says, wonderfully brilliant idea, Keith. It really was. And that's why I say thank you specifically to him today. And Sarah says, Tracy, you're amazing. And Dave says, thanks, I try. You know you succeed. Christopher says, I am glad you're okay, Keith. That's very kind of you. Christopher. And Sarah's given us a number of emojis, but it's, be sure, like, subscribe, share, forward. Specifically, that's my request. I put up that new video today on the 25064 backstory. So please, on 25064, forward my story of 2564. Please. And Doug says, Keith, you rock. Oh, Teb's here says, Happy Terrific Tuesday, Thrash. Tomorrow is my 38th birthday. Dude, you hide it well. I would have thought you were like not even 30. Keith says orange is good, but I'm a fat person like me. Never wear purple. Dave loves carrot cake. My daughter's favorite dessert, too. My restaurant has a mean carrot cake. Christopher, next time you should try the carrot cake. And speaking of Christopher, you just jumped off the page, but I will find you were dying the attempt. Here we go. Oh, it's decided Terrell. Sarah says 14 in the chat, only 8 likes. Come on, hit that like button. What she said. She goes on to say, "You're on my TV pawns." LOL, so famous. Brogu is here. Says hello, everyone. Brogu, happy 2506. Sarah says, "Links are my jam pawns." A lot of people saying happy birthday to Terrell. Melissa Foster says, "It was a mess. However, I did find a Valentine's Day card that I originally bought for my husband this year, but never found it in time. Anyway, have it for him next year." You'll probably forget it next year too. How many times I've done that? I find a card, say, "Oh, I have to give that next year," and then I forget, and then it comes a year after that, year after that, year after that. Keith says, "Yes, it was pretty much touch and go." And Jimmy says, "Where's the ice cold adult beverage for this momentous event?" Where's the ice cold beverage? Well, it's sort of room temperature. It's room temperature diet orange soda, polar variety in this case. For those of you from the Northeast, Jimmy, you must know. You must know polar soda. But anyway, yes, it's yummy. And Teb says, "Which radio formats did you listen to while growing up?" FM. And Sarah's giving us a link. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Terrell. Keith E says, "Every day on this side of the grass is a good day. It gives you a different perspective on life." I actually died when I was 17. I mean, like, died. I mean, like, dee! I mean, I was like gonzo. And I remember that the doctors brought me back when I came regained consciousness. Doctor looked worse than I did. But anyway, yes, I was put back here for some reason. Haven't quite figured out what that is, but yes, it is. It's nice. There's an old saying, the dead know only one thing, and that is, it is better to be alive. Jimmy says, "I will get by. I will survive by March 5th. I'm guessing that's your birthday. Whatever it is, I do. I wish you to survive heartily. And Tracy says, "Keith, we need to chat." Um, well, you guys both on Facebook, probably the best way to get in touch with each other there. And David says, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" Um, I'd actually pay retail price, but what I really want to do is I want to try. They have ice cream cones. Dixie Fitness was doing a spot on them not long ago, and they look Yumsville. Oh, Tracy says, "I like tiramisu. We have phenomenal tiramisu." So Luke says, "T-Pons, has Dave sent you your theme song yet?" No, he's holding it as a surprise, but he told me about it. Giddy says, "It's always Thrash. Thanks for your kind words. It means a lot to me. I know a lot to an old man like Z." Teb says, "Guess the beloved 90s sitcom Everyday Misadventures of a stand-up comedian and his group of friends in New York City, Seinfeld." Keithy says, "Jake Hudson does AI theme song for the channels." Oh, Jake Hudson did my theme song? Oh, that would be so awesome if Jake Hudson did my theme song. Oh, I was talking to him not too long ago. Oh, he didn't tell me he did a theme song for me. Oh, I would be over the moon if he did that for me. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. And I'll act surprised if he did, I promise. Jimmy says, "I know Polar Soda. I even remember White Rock Soda." Well, of course, the White Rock Ferry. You know, did the commercials the White Rock Ferry back in the day? You probably already know this, but for those of you who don't, um, oh, Ellie Mae Clampett. I'm so embarrassed. I can't think of her name, but Ellie Mae Clampett used to do commercials for White Rock Soda. My grandfather used to drink that, and I can't remember. I think I think a store that he went to had it, but I remember that from when I was little bits. Zubik says, "I can sympathize with Keith." Kevin Scott 76 is here. Freedom of 76 years says teaching, but here to support. Kevin, you are always a support, and I thank you for being here. Tug says, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be alive. Oh, I love it. That's very, very sweet. Sarah's giving us another link. He says, Sarah can get you in touch with Jake Hudson if you don't already have his channel. I believe she already knows Jake. That's just a guess. I believe she does, but that's very kind of you to offer. And Tim says to Tracy, thanks. And Sarah says, yes, Keith, I can. And Jimmy says, funny, everyone I knew ain't here anymore, and I was the most high risk talker of all. Everyone I knew here anymore, and I was high risk talker of them all. Well, thank you, Jimmy. Oh, BK the Air is here. He says, hey there, Retropalooza, pal. Indeed, and we are psyched because, as you guys, thank you for reminding me, Barry, this July 15th, we are going to do another Retropalooza, and we're all so looking forward to it. And Keith, he says, Donna Dixon. Thank you. Yes, Donna Dixon was Ellie. No, I'm sorry. Donna Dixon was in Bosom Buddies and has been married to Dan Aykroyd for 40 years. Donna Douglas. Thank you, Jimmy. Was Ellie Mae Clampett and was also in Eye of the Beholder, one of the most compelling episodes of the Twilight Zone ever. And Teb says, guess the beloved 2000s sitcom, The Trials and Tribulations of a Teenage Boy Genius and His Crazy Dysfunctional Family. Trials and Tribulations of a Boy Genius. Malcolm in the Middle? And hey, Lance Chafin is here. He says, hey, Thrash, and hey, guys, and hey, everyone. And Jimmy Neutron says, risk taker, not talker. Okay. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was like, risk talker? Well, you can talk risk, but a risk taker. And we're very glad you're still here, even with all the risks you took and talked. And Tug says, I got a jet. Put my son to bed and try to get to Sarah's stream at a reasonable time. Get some rest, lad. See you soon. Take care. And Jim says to Jimmy ditto. And Tim says, yes, Thrash, it was Malcolm Little. Oh, good. And he spouts says, which Swamp Thing? Alan Moon wins and Len Wines loses. Deal. And BK says, by the way, Spencer Milligan, our Rick Marshall from Land of the Lost, has passed. Oh, man. Oh, no. Rest in peace, Mr. Milligan. And Jimmy says, do you think Parker Lewis can lose? I'm sure he could. He just never did. You know what, guys? As I'm more or less cut up, and he says, hey, K-Dub. And Sarah's giving us a link, but it's virtually 8 o'clock. And I actually compiled a trivia game. And it was suggested again by Keith that I do songs with numbers in the title. And there were some of them, and I did find some good ones, but I decided to expand the scope a little bit. And I went with songs not only with numbers in the titles, but numerical references in songs. A lot of people saying RIP to Spencer Milligan. Yeah, definitely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read my list of trivia questions. And basically it's some type of musical reference which you have to guess the relevance to. And as always, I'm going to start them in no particular order. Number 10. Finish the stanza here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me that you love me more. 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potato more. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Or your mother's a friggin' aardvark. I shall repeat. Just complete the stanza. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, tell me that you love me more. B, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potato more. C, quoth the raven, nevermore. Or D, your mother's a friggin' goes to college. And my folks says, okay, I've got to get ready for my show. Hopefully, see you all there. Sister Sarah, you take care of yourself. Um, I won't make it. Get an early day tomorrow. Apparently my granddaughter has some stuff she's got to take care of in relation to her last semester of school, which we really want to get taken care of as it's going on July. So I get an early morning ahead of us. But have a great show, and I'll try, as always, try to make the next one. But peace. Uh, I love Melissa Foster. I love people saying goodnight to Sarah. Yes, goodnight, Sarah. Goodnight, Tug. And Keithy says schlamazel. I am seeing the correct answer. It's what it was actually the commercial for Target or something. I forget, but it was actually a top 40 song. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me that you love me more. And she says, Pawns need on soon. Been 4 years trying to get you on LOL. And I apologize. I even meant to check this Saturday. But I got home, had something to eat. I was watching TV with my wife and fell asleep. Didn't wake up till like 4 in the morning. I am so wiped out on Saturdays. But I will be on. What I'll do is I'll try to contact you through Facebook, and we'll try to set something up. David says, thought Beatles song. Not in this case, no. Anyway, number 9. According to music lore, how minutes are there in a year? A, 535,600, 252,600, 625,600, or 525,600. I shall repeat. According to lore, how many minutes are there in a year? 535,600, 252,600, 625,600, or 525,600. David says Atari's 2,600. Give a few more to come in. And by the way, remember, Teb, I did that on one of my. Oh, what do we even call that? I forget. We had a cute name for it. But one of my music reconstructions where I take a musical title and change it around. You have to figure out what it is. Jimmy says potato. Well, you say potato, and I say potato. You say tomato, and I say well, because we're walking to that. You say potato, and I say potato. You say tomato, and I say tomato. And he says there are 525,600 minutes in a year, but I'm not sure what you mean by music lore. Oh, there. Well, Indy, you got the right answer. There's a musical called Rent, and there's a song in Rent which goes 525,600 minutes, and it's all about a year and how a year is broken up into these little tiny. Gary Carpenter's here and says, "Hey everyone, I'm back." Oh, and Gary, yes, I was checking the settings for some reason when my computer reset. The bass for my volume was appallingly low. So I hope I fix it. Other people say it's okay. No. But anyway, the correct answer is D. Although I gotta tell you, on at least one YouTube site, it said 535,000. So you know what? If you said A, give it to you. I made up 252. So you know that is incorrect. But again, I said because of thanks to music lore. So yeah, that is the because bear in mind, Indy, these questions are all based on music related titles or lines in music or David says, welcome to an underground lair. And he says, Rent. Got it. Never seen it. Me neither. I rented it. When it first came out, I rented it and didn't watch it. I hated it when I did that. And he says, Gary, you're not back. You've been hiding. Yee. Lobo Gris is here. Says, hey, Thrash, how goes? Lobo Gris, so great for you to join us, by the way. Welcome to the chat. We just started our trivia game. Tonight it's on, it's music trivia, but it's, I guess you could say, numeric questions. That is, say, when numbers are important in a song, either in the title or in the lyrics. And Gary says, Keithy, I've been hiding from you. And Jerry says, welcome back, Cotter, on the Starship Enterprise is a show I would definitely watch. Remember when Quentin Tarantino was on SNL? Epstein came out of the audience and he goes, hey, I have an idea for a show, Epstein in Space. And Lanson, oh yeah, here we go. Anywho, moving on to question 8. What is the loneliest number? Is it A, 0, B, 1, C, 2, D, 3? You sank my battleship. I shall repeat. What is the loneliest number? Was it A, 0, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 3? And the numbers are coming in now. He says 9, especially in Germany, but I'm bumped. Love potion number 9. I can't believe I didn't think of that one. I am so ashamed of myself that I did not incorporate love potion number 9 into this trivia game. Well, too late now. The correct answer is B1. 1 is the loneliest number, which is by a group with a number in their title, Three Dog Night. Isn't it? I think it is. Well, moving forward. Number 7. In what year did we fight the bloody British in the town of New Orleans? Was it A, 1776, B, 1812, C, another B, C, 1814, or D, 1848? Oh, Indy, you gotta wait till all the selections come up, man. I'm gonna give you a mulligan on that one. I shall repeat. And Jim says, Three Dog Night says 1. Yes, very good. In what year did we fight the bloody British in the town of New Orleans? A, 1776, B, 1812, C, 1814, or D, 1848? And Gary Carter says, BK, don't tell me that Spencer passed. Oh, yes, he did. He passed on. Very sad. Keith says 1963 when the British arrived, but they didn't arrive in New Orleans. Oh, a lot of people are writing in 1815. I must say, as well, that actually happens again in another historically related song. I'm going by what they say in the song, not necessarily in reality, which is why I said it. I should have said it in music lore in this one too. Okay, I'll repeat it one more time. In music lore, in what year did we fight the bloody British in the town of New Orleans? And once again, A, 1776, B, 1812, C, 1814, or D, 1848? All right, somebody said D. Unless England was also an ally of Mexico, I'm afraid that is incorrect. Logan says, music, got it. And Gary Carpenter says, BK, the only other show he was on was Alice. He actually did. He did an episode of Police Squad. He plays an ex-con who's hiding something. Jake Hudson is here. Mr. Hudson, so good to see. We were just talking about you. Welcome to the party. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the share. Thoroughly appreciate it. One more favorite. The gist of tonight is I did a music post on 250624 for two reasons. One, it's 250624, but also the story behind that is one of my favorite music trivia questions. If I ask nicely, could you please forward that video to anyone who you think might be interested in music trivia? And Jake says, "How are your day doing today? It's going very, very, very well. Thank you so much for asking, and a happy 2506 to 4 to you as well." Oh, you're doing okay? Splendid. I'm very glad you're doing well as well. And thank you so much for joining us. It is appreciated. Lynn says 8675309. And Gary Cabra says, one is the loneliest number. Yes, it is. And Tracy says, gotta get running, but have a beautiful day night, guys. To you as well. It's so nice having you with us, Tracy. Happy birthday, prelated. And a lot of people saying goodnight to Tracy. And having stalled long enough, it's in 1814 we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. So yes, so that would be C. The irony is I actually circled 1776, but fortunately I actually knew the right answer. I wonder how many times I've done that. How many times I've actually circled the wrong answer and given it as the right one, and you folks have never said anything? I find that impossible to believe. You people love to catch me on everything, Mr. Day of the Locust. What was it? We fired our guns and the British kept it coming. Was it not as many as it was a while ago? We fired once more and they began to running. Okay, follow-up trivia question. When their cannon melted down, what did they use in lieu of a cannon? And Keithy says, hello, Bubble. You look good here tonight. Lance is gonna be on Sarah's stream, I think. Well, good luck. Excellent. And yes, Lobogris says, an alligator. We grabbed an alligator, we fought another round. Filled his head with cannonballs and powdered his behind. And when we touched the powder off, the gator lost his mind. I loved that song when I was a kid. And he says, yeah, I hate those know-it-alls. Indy, are you kidding? No matter where you roam, know our love is true, particularly mine. I'm one of those people, I don't get pissed off when people correct me. I actually love it. I'm like, really? It's an epiphany. I love to get things right. And if I have to be proven that I was wrong before that, well, Gala Sare. Number 6, and then we'll get scores. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? A, Shades of Grey. B, a 5, 6, 7, 8. C, Senses Working Overtime. Or D, Jackson's. I shall repeat. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? A, Shades of Grey. B, 5, 6, 7, 8. C, Senses Working Overtime. Or D, Jackson's. Looks like a potato gun or a pie in the face. Oh, Anubis is here. Oh my gosh. DJ Anubis. Welcome, my bro. Says, sup, Thrash Man stopping by to say hi. Hello to you, man. Hello to you too, DJ Anubis. How's the preparations on best made for TV horror movies going? Let me know if you'd like a collaboration in on that. And thank you very much for stopping by, and happy 25 or 624. Oh, one tender request. Please share my 25 or 64 post. You can share this. This is the live chat, but there's a post I did on one of my favorite music trivia questions. But anyway, thank you so much for showing up. People saying hi to Anubis. Oh, David says golden rings. Very good guess. Jimmy says blades of grass. Okay. Oh, there's a song there. No blade of grass. And Gary Carpenter says 1812. Are we back on that? A lot of people saying C. Yeah, you were backed up, Gary. Oh, nobody says, indeed, man. Let me know when. I will. I will. I'll try to give you a message on Facebook at some point tomorrow. I've been like playing phone tag with Lance from the Outcast Elite for like days. But so I don't know why I'm having so trouble contacting people. But and Keith is how many dances to put in a light bulb? A 5, 6, 7, 8. Love it. And then he says, "This is like something no one wants to hear." Eat more total. uh, it's the XTK song. Senses working overtime. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime. Trying to taste the difference between lemon and lime. How about some scores, people? Well, look says the buttocks. I was shot in the buttocks. Look says I assume that was C. Yes, C was the correct answer. 5 senses working overtime. Dave has 0. Tonight's been kind of tough. And he says so far so good. I'm guessing that's 5 for 5. Dublix is 4 out of 5. Los is 1 of 5. Lobos is 7 of 5, which is an excellent trick. Or do you mean 75%? Which of 5 would be 3.5? Tab is 2 of 5, and Jimmy says they're making Sharknado Part 5000 next year. Oh, looks good. And Lance says a big goose egg. Well, worse than a rotten egg. Better than a rotten egg. A rotten egg would be worse. So anyway, let's just suicide through. Yeah, let's just Judas option through the last of them. Oh wait, there's more. So it says 3 of 5 is 60%. Yes, but 4 or 5 would be 80%. Yes, I guess 4 or 5 would be closer to 7.5. So yes, Dave is 0 is the number. So that is the correct answer. Gary is 3 of 5. Keith says B out of E. I'm not going an American answer. B out of E. Oh, B out of E. I get it. B out of E. I'm not going with an American. I got it. I think I got it. I don't get it. But anyway, moving on to number 5. According to Donald Fagen, by what year will everything be A-OK? 1976, 1967, the year 2000, or 2024? You know, I just realized that speaking of other songs that would have been appropriate, in the year 2025, I could have done the entire quiz on that, but I'm not going to. In fact, I'll never use this topic again, but it seemed like fun at the time. I will continue. According to Donald Fagen, in what year will everything be A-OK by? A, 1976, B, 1967, C, 2000, or D, 2024? And Eastbot says to Jimmy Neutron, it's really challenging to know exactly when they jumped the shark with that series. I know, really. Well played. Keith says 25, 25. Yes, I was just thinking that. Because you do in the year 65, 65. And because you have to know supposedly what's going to happen in each increment. And there's no logical progression of technological advancement. In some centuries, people stop talking, and so you have to take a pill to speak for the day. And some you don't have any arms and legs. They're kind of all over the place. Which leads me to my point: people on hallucinogenics should not write music. Gary Carpenter says, if you do music trivia, please do ABBA and the Beatles, Mamas and the Papas. They all have some great material. Yeah, I didn't say I would never do music again. I won't do music-related numerology. that seems to have not worked out. Said as the Japanese said, it ended in a manner not necessarily to our advantage. 1976 is when everything was going to be a-okay by. Oh, this is a fun one. 10, no, I'll come in again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more. How many died trying to end the spree of Baron von Richthofen? A, 60, B, 70, C, 80, or D, 100? I shall repeat. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more. How many died trying on the spree of the Red Baron? A, 60, B, 70, C, 80, or D, 100? Indy Spot says, I think that's IGY, but I'm not sure. Indy for the win. Yes, it was it was what it stood for, International Galactic Year. Melissa Foster says, pick your sons. Pick your daughters too. You want to pick your sons, pick your daughters too. From the bottom of a long glass tube. Oh yeah. Keith he says one beagle. Was it the spaceship Beagle? Voyage of the spaceship Beagle. Yes, one beagle did it, but how many died prior to the beagle? Yes, okay, yeah. You are correct. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or more. The Bloody Red Baron was rolling up the score. 80 men died trying to end the spree of the Bloody Red Baron of Germany. Number 3. According to Bryan Adams, what year was the best time of his life? A, 67, B, 1969, C, 1976, D, 1996. I shall repeat. According to Bryan Adams, what year was the best time of his life? A, 67, B, 69, C, 76, or D, 96? Modest Reviews is here. Finally caught one. Modest Reviews, thank you so much for being here tonight. Oh my God, you guys got to check out Modest Reviews. Putting out some very, very funny shorts. Thank you for joining us tonight. And yeah, guys, that one was an easy one. The summer of '69, of course. And once again, according to music lore, what year did we sink the Bismarck? Was it A, 1939, B, 1941, C, 1943, or D, 1945? Modest Review says, what's up, everyone? Thanks, brother. Appreciate the encouragement. Well, Guy, I thank the for the great material. Please keep it up. I shall repeat. According to music lore, what year did we sink the Bismarck? A, 1939, B, 1941, C, 1943, or D, 1945? Give another second. Dave, where did she? 1940 something? We will accept that. Oh, there he goes. He finished in the second one. But our judges accepted that. And let's just see. Holy smoke! Denny's here. It says greetings from South Carolina. Denny, you're just in time for the wrap up. But a happy 25 or 64 to you too, by the way. Hope everyone saw my video today on the story behind the Chicago anthem. Please, we're asking everyone today, please forward that post to a friend who likes music trivia or your favorite social media outlet. And we're also commemorating, this day commemorates our very, very, very good friend Keithy when he emerged from his coma. He was in a coma for some time, came out of it, and we celebrated on this day. And since this June 25th just happened to be in 1924, 2506 to 4, just is very synchronistic. Oh, and Enemy's here says, "Hey, Enemy Miller, listen to me. Emily Miller is here. Emily, so nice to see you." And she says, "Hey, y'all, sorry I'm late. It's okay. We are only gonna be on for a few more minutes, but thank you very, very, very much for joining." And Keith he says, Retro Nerd Group only needs 40 for 8,000. Can we please post a link? Yes, we can. We can and we will. We will share and share alike. And more or less cut up. But yes, Emily, again, happy 2506 to 4. That post I did earlier on the Chicago anthem, please forward to a friend who likes music or um, your favorite social media outlet. And wish Keith a happy 2506. And let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, damn. You're not the only one who's late. No, people have kind of been filtering in and out, in and out. We only have about 11 people left, which is fine. Well, I got one more question. All right, one more question, and then we'll do scores, and then I'll thank everyone for being here. Okay. And you've heard this one before. You've heard me talk about this before, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it's my favorite. Well, one of my favorites, at least in this list. Number one, according to Peter Thomas, what was the average age of the Vietnam War U.S. combat soldier? Was it A 18, B 19, C 21, or D 26? And Len says, I'm buffering. Well, it's okay, Len. Somebody wrapping up anyway. Indy says 17. Trying to throw the game, are you, huh? Lance, I know you know the answer to that, but I'm going to ask you one more time. According to Peter Thomas, what was the average age of the Vietnam War U.S. combat soldier? Was it A 18, B 19, C 21, or D 26? Oh, Emily thought I thought it was 17 too. No, there was a very, very famous song in the mid 80s by Paul Westerberg. He was a DJ at the time. The last name doesn't sound right to me. Paul something or other. But the song was na 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 19. Yes, according to the song, 19 was the average age. Oh, I was right. It was Paul Westerberg. Thank you. Thank you, Indy. I was agonizing over that one. Oh, Dave says Paul Anka. And he says Paul Hardcastle. So it wasn't Westberg, it was Paul Hardcastle? Okay. All right. All right. For a minute, I thought I was right, but actually, as the more I say Hardcastle, I can't help but think that actually is right. Well, in any event, Paul somebody or other, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Emily says, "Thank you, Keith. Good to see you as well." And he's about says Hardcastle did 19. Okay, so it was Paul Hardcastle. Okay, so we'll go with that. Okay, so yeah, the correct answer is B, and let's get some scores. If anyone's bothered to keep score. Lynn says, yes, it was Paul Hardcastle. Gary Cameron says, Indy Hardcastle and McCormick. I know, I was dying to say that, but Paul McCarthy. Zerblix, Emily got 1, but she showed up late. That's actually pretty good. Zerblix got 6 out of 10. I think the answer to question 2 was B. We'll give it to you either way. If that makes it 7 out of 10, go for it. Models Reviews hasn't been playing along, so we won't hold that against you. Gary Carpenter says Hardcastle and McCormick. David got 3. Gary Carpenter got 4 of the 7 he was around for. And he's about says Janice. Ian thought the Vietnam average was 17. Just kidding, Bob. Don't start that rumor. I shan't. And David got 3 of 10. Little Gris got 2. David got 1. And Emily says I have 100%, so I can't complain. And Ted got 6 of 10. And Dave, as Dave says, playing for fun. Playing for fun is when you don't keep score. You just sort of pitch in, regardless of whether you get the answer or not. And so anyway, so that is as they say that. Anyway, we're coming up on the hour mark. And oh, thanks for the trivia, Thrash. You're very welcome, indeed. We're coming up the hour mark, and I remember I said I was going to hold it to an hour tonight. Again, this was all a surprise anyway. But again, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. This is kind of a big deal, particularly with our friend Keith E. We all love you, Keith, and are glad that you're with us. I wanted to wish everybody an amazing 25 of the 6th. 25 of 6th, or however you want to phrase it. I say 25 of 6th. But happy 2506 to 4. I may have more content this week. I haven't quite decided yet. I am gonna do my normal live chat this coming Sunday, so we have that to look forward to. Don't have a theme yet. And Zublik says, I am referring to the fact that buffering prevented me from hearing the answer if there was one. I am taking for granted that I answered question 2 correctly. Well, that's fine. I'm sure you did. Then it says Thrash. Ian says hi. Oh my gosh. Tilly and I said hey as well. And happy 506 to 4 to him too. And David says peace, nanu. And he says, I wish more folks could have made it. Me too. It's always more fun when there's more. And Gary Carpenter says, it's buffering for sure. I think it's the heat, probably. And Lobos Gris says, thanks for the live Thrash. Would love to have you stop by one of mine sometime. I would love that. I would love that. I'll tell you what, like I said to Sarah and to Jay Anubis, I'll try to give you a heads up tomorrow on Facebook, and we'll try to set something up. I'll be very busy tomorrow, I think. And Keithy says, Z, let's not start blaming things on buffering when it's your hearing. And Emily says, as Charlie on Supernatural said, peace out, biatches. Couldn't have said it better myself. Emily, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I know you were late, but I'm glad you were able to make it in any capacity. But anyway, guys, folks, I love you guys. These are so much fun. I have so much fun doing these. I'm looking forward to doing more. Until next time, though, be good, be safe, be careful. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again very, 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 very soon. Peace.